At this point, everyone is waiting for the last DLC character of Tekken 8, and we are all assuming that it will be a guest character. We don't know who the guest character is, there has been a lot of speculation about it in the community, and this video there is a ton of options for it, so stay on to the end to see them all. But in the Tekken World Tour Finals, we actually got a confirmation for a Game Awards announcement, so it has to be a big character. But who will it be? So today we're gonna be discussing this, okay? If you enjoy fighting game content, please consider giving this video a like and subscribing, and let's get into it. The way in which we're gonna do this is that we're gonna have three categories of characters that could be in the game as guests. The first one is other fighting game characters. The second one is Bandai Namco characters, and the third one is third-party characters. So let's actually get into it. We're gonna start, of course, with fighting game characters. So I think that we have four franchises or four types of fighting game characters that we could get. One is a Street Fighter character, another one is a character from SNK, a third one is a Mortal Kombat character, and the last one is a 3D guest, which would be a character from either the Soul Calibur series, which is also a Bandai Namco IP, or a character from Virtua Fighter. So for Street Fighter, I think that there is different things that could happen. One, we could get Akuma back, which personally I would be happy with that because Akuma is a legendary character, super cool. The balancing would be a problem, but dude, like, this game is already a mess. I don't care if it's unbalanced, I just want to have, you know, someone like Akuma on the game. If it's not Akuma, and I actually think that this would be even better, we could get M. Bison. Bison on Tekken 8 would be dope as hell, and he has not been a Tekken character, you know, as a guest. So it would be super cool, super entertaining. He would, of course, be super strong, probably only because of design decisions, but it would be fun. And if we do not get, you know, Akuma or Bison, which are this sort of boss characters, we could get newcomers like Luke and Jamie. I would prefer to have Jamie personally, like I don't like Luke that much. Or we could get, you know, a classic protagonist like Ryu or Ken. For me, the best option would be Bison for a character from the Street Fighter franchise. Then we move into SNK characters, which is pretty interesting because the Geese was already on Tekken 7, and at the same time SNK is kind of going all out now. With, you know, all the money that was injected to the company because of the buyout from the Saudi Arabia prince, if I'm not mistaken, SNK is really going all out to win the market. So they could put a Fatal Fury character because of the new game that is coming next year, which could be someone like Terry, which is already on SF6, but I wouldn't mind getting Terry also on Tekken. We could also get Rock, which would be the most reasonable thing to do because he is a Fatal Fury character and he's not Terry, but he's similar to him. Or we could get someone very famous like Mai on it, which is also going to be an SF6. So because two of those characters are already on Street Fighter 6, I think that if we get, you know, a Fatal Fury guest character, it would be Rock Howard. Now, this is, you know, the curveball. We could also get a character from the King of Fighters series. We could get amazing ones like Rugal, Kyo, Iori. So there is a lot of options in the KOF universe that would be very dope also on Tekken. Now, the most reasonable thing would be to put Rock on the game, because we're getting a new Fatal Fury game. Terry and Mai are already on SF6, so SNK would probably, you know, give Rock Howard to Bandai Namco and, you know, say to them like, we need Rock Howard on this game because we want Fatal Fury City of the Wolves to be big, and we know that you need a guest character, so put Rock on the game. So that's maybe going to happen. The other option is from the Mortal Kombat series. Now, the thing with Mortal Kombat is that I don't think that we should get any character but a classic ninja if we're gonna get an MK character. Like, if you put a Mortal Kombat character on Tekken and it's not Sub-Zero or Scorpion, it's the waste of a slot. Like, those characters are too legendary and relevant on fighting game culture, and they are too famous to not be the guest character if you're gonna do a Mortal Kombat guest. So to me, they're the only options. If you put someone else, like Johnny Cage for example, like, you're absolutely insane. It has to be Sub-Zero or Scorpion. And last but not least, as I said before, we could get a 3D guest, which could be Siegfried from Soul Calibur, which is kind of technically the protagonist of Soul Calibur, but not really. Or we could of course get Akira from Virtua Fighter. To me, I would prefer to have Siegfried. If we're gonna get a 3D guest, like, I prefer to have Siegfried than Akira, but any of the two would be decent, but they wouldn't be as hype, I think. And my extra, character, or my extra option that is not that viable but could happen, is getting a character from the Guilty Gear series. Like for example, Soul Bad Guy or Sato 1. It would be incredible, super fun, but I don't think that it is likely. Now let's move to characters that are actually from Bandai Namco. Siegfried from Soul Calibur, of course, it's a fighting game character and also a character from Namco, but there is other options that could happen. For example, I know that this can sound very stupid, but we could get some sort of Souls-like character, like the protagonist, the generic protagonist from Elden Ring, and it could have, like changeable weapons or moves with different type of weapons. I know that it sounds weird, but Elden Ring and Souls games have been the greatest success for Bandai Namco as a franchise aside from anime games. So at the end of the day, putting a character from, for example, Elden Ring or this sort of, generic hero from Elden Ring, it would probably work. And then of course we have all the anime options, because do not forget, Bandai Namco also has rights to the Shonen Jump. So we could get a character from Dragon Ball or Naruto, or Gundam. Is that gonna happen? Bandai also owns Gundam. I don't think that it will happen. It would be pretty crazy and fun, but those characters don't have like the aesthetics to be in a game like this. They would look very weird. A Gundam character though, like a Gundam robot, would be crazy, but that is not that famous. It wouldn't move people that much. As you can see, characters from another fighting game are a lot more exciting than Bandai Namco characters. But finally, we come to the most exciting part, in my opinion, and that is the chance of getting third-party characters. And I'm gonna name some franchises that I would love to have a character on Tekken, but here, options become kind of infinite. The first thing would be a character from the Final Fantasy series again. We had one on Tekken 7, but right now, the Final Fantasy series, it's kind of going crazy with the remakes for Final Fantasy 7 and also with Final Fantasy 16. I would love to have someone like Sephiroth or Cloud on Tekken 8. It would be incredibly amazing, super fun and dope, and they would fundamentally break the game, so they would be very strong. We could also get Tifa, of course, which is the character that is getting rumored the most if we get a Final Fantasy character. Or we could get the protagonist from Final Fantasy 16, But any Final Fantasy character would be pretty dope. For me, the best thing would be Sephiroth though. Like getting a character like Sephiroth on Tekken 8 would make me cry, dude. It would be amazing. Other series that I think could happen is the Yakuza series. We could get, some of the protagonists from the Yakuza series, taking into account that those games, have been doing well and are kind of tied to Tekken 8 because of the hit system. Could happen, could happen. Then something that I would love would be to have a character from the Devil May Cry series. Someone like Dante or Virgil. It would be absolutely bonkers, super fun again. And the final option, to me, that would also be incredible, would be having Snake. Having Snake on Tekken 8 would be amazing. The gameplay would be so fun, dude. It would be incredible. So, those are all of the options I have in my head. Of course, there is a lot more, especially when you start thinking about third-party characters. But I don't want to make an infinite video about the options. Me personally, I think that the most reliable option and the most plausible option is another fighting game character, like getting Bison, like getting Rugal, like getting Rock, like getting Sub-Zero, Scorpion, Siegfried. Any of those I think that are more, likely to happen. So, if you enjoyed the video, please consider giving it a like and subscribing, and I'll see you on the next one, guys, and hopefully we get a huge announcement at the Game Awards. Have a great day.